blog when I was about 7 months pregnant. And the reason why I'm doing a show now instead of the blog, I was reaching a lot of people. I got a lot of messages and a lot of feedback about what I was doing, but I wanted to reach more people because I know a lot of people don't read now. So I just decided to turn it into a show so that I can reach more people and inspire more people that way. And this is the Mommy Chronicles. So today my family's coming over so we can talk. I really haven't talked to my family or really anybody about the situation besides my blog. Just during the time that I was dating him, I never talked to anybody but my sister. My sister's the only one who has had like really any contact with him. Other than that, I never really spoke about it. I kept that relationship very private. For some reason, I just felt like I didn't need people to know. And now looking back, I see why I kept it to myself. So they're just coming over today just to catch up and just to give me. This is like the person he presented himself to be at the time. Like when I met him, was not who he really was at the end. Like when I found out I was pregnant, when it got to that point, like I don't know. He presented himself to be a person that like had a past. Y'all know how it is. Like everybody got a past. So it's just like he was saying he went through all this kind of stuff, and then I'm in church now, so I went with it. You know, I just ran with it, and then I was at a vulnerable point, I feel like, in my life to where, because I really don't want to talk about it. You know how we were saying we weren't boyfriends and da-da-da-da. Exactly. And I was just kind of doing my own thing, and then we just started hanging out, and then slowly but surely stuff just started unfolding. I started finding out stuff. It was just a lot. It was really a lot. I think the turning point, though, was when I, like, walked in the house, and it was, like, crack everywhere in the house. Crack everywhere in the house. Crazy. And I had just walked in. I remember like having my stuff in my hand and dropping everything like frozen. It was like a movie. Like I just dropped everything. I was like, "Are you serious?" And then he like walked in the house like nothing happened. Oh yeah, it's just like it was hot pockets in the microwave, right? Like okay then, you just cooking up a little Debbie cake or something. No, he came in and tried to like clean it up. See, that's how I knew the respect had gone, because now you just get sloppy with it. You know what I mean? Like try to hide at that point. Yeah. And so I asked him about it, and then he kind of finally admitted that I'm back selling drugs and I'm doing all this kind of stuff. And that's when it just got real. Walking into that house that day, I can laugh about it now, but I really wish there could have been cameras to capture that exact moment, because it literally was like a movie. Like I had all my stuff. I had just came from work, and I had my purse and little stuff with me, and I like literally just like stood and froze and was like, "Are you serious?" Like he had, I mean, it was just the whole thing, like the whole shebang. He had the whip, the little whisk thing, like Pyrex. It was like legit. It felt like, "Are you serious?" That's when I knew that he had no respect for me. He started getting sloppy with it. Like he started to just not really care if I saw it or not, you know, and it made me think, well, how long has this been going on? That's like the initial thought that went through my head, because it's like, you told me when I met you that you weren't doing any of these things. And he knew that I wasn't going to judge him, because if that's your past, that's your past. I can't, everybody has one, so I can't really do anything about that. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? Who am I to judge you? But if there's something that you're still doing, that's unfair to me. Like you can't tell me you're not doing this, but then I'm walking in and I'm seeing it myself. And then when you come in behind me and you see me see it, you're trying to make me feel like I'm not saying what I'm saying. So it just was a really just, that day I never will forget. The feeling that came over my body, the look I had on my face, like I could still feel it. And just the fact that he looked me in my eyes and made me feel like I was crazy for what I was seeing with my own eyes was just like, that was it for me. I was just like, no, this is too much. It got real at that point. As women, I feel like when we are too deep in it, we go off our emotions and we don't really start to think with our brain.
Because we always seem to battle with those two. Like we know what we're supposed to do, what we should do, but our heart is like, we try to make exceptions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For that person, if we care for them, if we love them.
Yeah.
We try to make, and we make a lot of excuses for me.
Exactly. We want to justify every little wrong that they do.
It's like, you know, we know it's wrong, but maybe, you know, he's doing it because of this, or maybe.
Hi, I'm Star Sloan. I'm Q's cousin. I met Q when I was 9. That's when I moved here to Mobile, Alabama from Los Angeles, California. That was the first time actually meeting my cousins and my dad and, you know, my family on that side. And it was an exciting but scary feeling because it was something new to me. I was just used to my mom and my brothers and I, but I became very close to them all. But Q, we are the same age, and we went through a lot of things similar. But just seeing her and how she is in her new element, which is being a mom, is really refreshing. Because you see someone go through all these hard times and go through all this hurt and pain. And I'm very thankful to meet my little cousin / godson, Sid. He is so goofy and silly, and it's just like he fits right on into the little crew. And she just really take motherhood seriously, and her being young and her being an entrepreneur and her doing different things and wanting to explore life still by being a young mother. She's doing a very good job, and it's good to see her put him first. And I'm very proud of her because through the things she went through in life, she could have went down a whole different path. But she stayed focused and she stayed looking at the bigger picture and she kept her eye on the prize. So I feel like God is going to definitely reward her for the hardship and all the blood, sweat, and tears that she put into becoming the woman she is today. But I just want to say I love you, cuz, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm always going to have your back and keep it 100.
I don't know, and that's exactly what I did. I started to try to justify everything that he was doing. Look, you see,
That is too
knocked out. But I let it go. And even after that, just finding different things in his phone, like he was talking to everybody and just being every like form of disrespect that you can do to a person in a relationship is what he was doing. You know, but you know who you're with is a reflection of you. Mm-hmm. So the things that he was doing to me is what I felt about myself.
Yeah.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Okay, cool.
Sitting there talking to my family about my ex, I knew that deep down I knew that I wanted to cry just to release it, but I never really wanted to get emotional like that talking to them. I don't really like for anybody really to see me cry. There's such a vulnerable part of me that I just don't, even though they're family, I don't want to show weakness like that. But talking to them about my situation, and actually I think it was hearing it again, it brought back old feelings and old emotions of what I went through last year. And you know, it just kind of felt good for them to be there and to have my back, and just to make me feel like everything was going to be okay despite all the hell that I went through last year. Like, it really was a lot. And at that time, I felt like I didn't have them, not because of something that was going on or things like that, but I just really felt alone. And I really felt like that was probably the only reason I even entered that relationship, because I was very vulnerable at that point. I just felt like I was out by myself. And so that's why I feel like I tolerated a lot of the things that he was doing just to feel like I had somebody. And I think a lot of people, not just females, people in general, as humans, we feel like we have to have people around us, not necessarily because they're adding to our lives or even enhancing it a bit. It's just the fact that they're around. And so we put up with a lot of things, and sometimes it's because of how we feel about ourselves. Like I was telling my family, like I felt horrible about my own self. So it was just like, yeah, I'll just take you cheating on me. Yeah, I'll take you doing all this stuff. You're doing it, you're lying. You know, I took all of that because at that point, I felt like I didn't deserve any better. Like, that's what I deserved. And like I said, and I was telling them, you know, who you're with is a reflection of you. Whether you want to admit it or not, or look at it that way, you might not have that perspective on it, but it is. You know what I'm saying? And if you're taking things that they're doing and they're negative, then that's probably 9 times out of 10 how you feel about yourself. So now in a relationship that I enter is gonna is gonna show that I'm happy now. You know what I'm saying? And now that I have my son, I definitely want to be selective and make sure that I pick not only a husband for me, but a father for my son. And that's something that I'm not willing to really negotiate on anymore. It's just gonna have to be what it is.
Reality though, you know, it hurts when reality sets in. And the truth, and you hear the truth about yourself, even though, you know what I'm saying, you trying to bury it so deep down and try to move forward and move past it. And like, you know you this way, you know you have certain issues, but you try to bury it in the back of your mind, and then you use different things and different people and different objects and stuff to try to, you know, numb that pain. When you really just have to direct, you know what I'm saying, go to the issue direct and be stern and just, you know, fight it. But you know you're strong though, so you used to, you know.
You made it out.
And I thank God I did though, because even after that I stayed. You know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like.
Did you think to leave?
When at that point, when I found out that I did, but it's just kind of like when you don't feel like you have anybody else, you just stick around because you don't feel like you have a exit. You know what I'm saying? So.
Like
and then at that point, he really had kind of
nobody's gonna be there. You like the comfort of laying next to someone at night. You know, it's just all these things that come into play. You just feel like you have that one person. That
and then sometimes you feel like you can't leave, like you physically can't get your things and leave. And then that's when it got to the point where, you know, I was just like laying there. After just being there, he had been out, and I've been calling him, no answer. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, well, what's going on? And then it got to the point he just like stormed in the house and was like, get your stuff and leave. And I'm like, well, what? You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, I just got set up, and the police probably will be here. And it's just, I never was the snooper. Like, I never was the female that felt like, oh, I have to go through my man's phone. Let me see what he's doing. That just wasn't me. Because I knew that how the saying goes, when you go looking for something, you find it. Like, I just wasn't that chick. I was not going to be the one to go through and see something and upset myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't going to set myself up for that. But for some reason with him, it was like, first of all, he had like 5 phones. I'm gonna check what's happening, like what's really going on in these phones. So I went through, and I forget, I was like laying there and like went through his phone, and he was talking to everybody. Like, how disrespectful can you be? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you, in your mind and your heart, you know you're being faithful to someone, and you're giving your all to someone, you're not doing anything, you're not talking to anybody, like you're shutting it down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna do that to me? And then what kills me about everything that I was finding out with this relationship was the reaction that he would give me every time I would like confront him with it. The type of phone that it was, it couldn't screenshot, so I couldn't screenshot it or whatever. So I took a picture of it. Yeah, I got real, you know. And I took a picture of it with my phone, so because I knew that he was gonna try to deny it. So when I confronted him about it, he was like, no, I'm not talking to you. Once again, making me feel like I'm crazy. I didn't see what I just saw. Oh yeah, but there's a picture. Here we go. Let's look at this picture and let's see what's really happening. And it was just between that and finding all of this stuff, it was just like I had to really step back and do a little self-reflection. Like, Q, why are you dating this person? Like, why are you tolerating all of this stuff? And then that's when it really just hit. Like, you need to exit. And that's when I really started to. I didn't leave at that exact moment, which I should have. I stayed, but that's when it started to hit me, and slowly after that we split because I just could not take it anymore.
Yes.
And not even come to find out, I was already pregnant. I was already pregnant at that point, so it's the fact that you putting my life in danger, you know what I'm saying? And I could have went to jail for something I didn't even know about. And then my son, you know what I'm saying?
You
like,
wouldn't even know how to even go about explaining, because when you clueless about something, you just clueless. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have a explanation of to why. But they're going to look at it as like, well, you with this man, you know what I'm saying? How it looks on the outside. It's like you with this man every day, this and that. So you know something, but you really don't. So it was unfair, like you said. You know, like we talked about, he took your choice away. You know what I'm saying?
He took my choice away.
If you want to do what you thought you had to do as a man, because, you know what I'm saying, you need to survive, or the case may be. And me being your girl, sit me down and, you know what I'm saying,
explain to me. Yeah. Because, you know, I just feel like if you say you're a man, then that's what you're supposed to do. You don't send somebody that you love or that you say you love into a situation blindly. Yeah. Like, don't take my choice away. And especially when we had conversations about different things, like I wasn't ready for children at that point. Yes, I could have prevented that physically, but at the same time, you took my choice away. Like we just said, like, you knew I wasn't at that point. And, you know, when you lie and lie and lie, how much could a person take? You know what I'm saying? And it just felt like he was just trying to trap me in the situation because different things were happening. And I kept saying over and over, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. And that, I feel like trapping me with a child was the only thing he could do. And there's so many people that do that. Guys think that, oh, okay, well, I'll just get her pregnant and she'll stay. Okay, well, I'll just get her pregnant and she'll come here, we'll be together. And when I said no, he was just like, well, I'm not helping you with anything. So
and that shows the strength in you at the end of the day, though.
Yeah.